Hi, I hope you all are having a good day. Please be nice and respectful for my sub and work hard today. The notes for today, 12/5/2022, are on section 5.1, mid-segment theorem. We'll start out with the definition of the mid-segment of a triangle. It's a segment that connects the midpoints. So that's where it got its name, mid-segment, of two sides of the triangle. So let's say we're going to talk about this midpoint and this midpoint. Then this segment right here is called the midsegment. And you would know that that was a midpoint because those two parts would be equal. Let's call that E. You'd know E was a midpoint because those two parts would be equal. And you would know F was a midpoint because these two parts would be equal. And if you drew a triangle, you could connect these two midpoints for that midsegment. You could connect, let me change colors, these two midpoints for this midsegment. And then you could connect these two midpoints for this midsegment. So every triangle has three midsegments. Every triangle has three midsegments. We have one main theorem today. Remember, as you're watching the video, you could pause it, go back, and tailor it to your needs. Midsegment theorem. The segment connecting the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is half as long as that side. So my goal is that we work on this theorem over and over today. So there's our triangle. We're going to say that this is a midpoint right here and that this is a midpoint right here. I don't know if that quite looks like it's a midpoint, but then this segment is the mid-segment. Let's talk about triangle ABC, and we'll call this EF like earlier. So EF is a mid-segment because it connects E, which is a midpoint, and F, which is a midpoint. According to the theorem, the mid-segment, the segment that connects those midpoints, is parallel to the third side. So side EF is parallel to the third side. It's the other side that we're not using. So it's parallel to AC. And we can see that would be true. And is half as long as that side. That means EF is half as long as side AC. So if if AC is 8, we would know that EF would be half as long. So we would know that EF was 4. And we could go the other direction and say if we know that EF is 5, we could figure out that AC must be 10 because 5 is half of 10. So it's a nice little theorem. We have some problems that we can do for it. So let's say this is ABC again. And let's just be consistent and call that E, F, and G. So let's say points E, F, and G are midpoints of triangle AB. Oh, I said ABD. Okay, ABD. So I'm going to ask you lots of different lengths. Let's see. I'm going to tell you some stuff. I'm going to tell you that AB is 12. FD is 9. I guess it doesn't look like a 9. Let's do FD is 5. And let's say that ED is 8. We're going to see what all we can find. Let's see if we can find EB. See if we can find DG. See if we can find EG. BD. A few more. EF. And AD. That should be good. Okay, so let's see if we can find all these links. So before you worried about all the specific ones I asked you for, let's just draw in the mid-segments. How do I know they're mid-segments? Because right here it said E was the midpoint, so boom, boom. F is a midpoint, so those are equal, and G is a midpoint. So all the points, the segments that connect those points are called mid-segments. Let's see, it told us AB was 12, so crazy looking bracket there, that's 12. FD is 5. Maybe I should switch colors. AB is 12, FD is 5, ED is 8. I don't think I meant to say ED. I think I meant to say, what did I mean to say? I think I meant to say, we'll say AG is 8. Sorry about that. So that's 8. Well, let's see what all we know. Well, let's just start right here. If AB is 12, and if E is the midpoint, let me erase that green circle. Doesn't it make sense that both of these segments right here would be 6 long? Now let's don't forget we're talking about mid segments and third sides. So which one of these mid segments goes with AB? Well, the mid segment that goes with AB is parallel to it. So that's the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to erase those green marks, but those are the two that are a pair. So we just wrote down a theorem that said the mid-segment is half the third side. Well, the mid-segment then, GF, is half of the third side, AB. Well, if AB is 12, GF is half of 12. So GF is 6. So this is 6 right here. Okay, that was fun. Let's do it again. The next thing I would like for us to focus on is this side. For that side, all we know is FD is 5. Well, if FD is 5, then it's equal to FB. It's also 5. Then I want to look for this is the third side for which mid-segment. Well, which one's parallel to it? Those two go together. The mid-segment's half the third side. So the mid-segment's half of 10, right? The third side would be 10. So the mid-segment's half of that. it would be 5. All right, last side. We'll be looking at this side down here. I'm going to erase this red line in just a second. This side down here, that third side, goes with this mid-segment. Actually, I may just leave it. So those pieces go together. Well, on line AD, I know AG is 8. So DG is also 8. And so the whole side AD is 8 plus 8. It's 16. Mid-segment is half the third side. So the mid-segment is 8. Now we have found everything we could possibly find. So I think we're ready to just fill in our blanks. EB, 6. DG, 8. EG, gotta find them. EG, 5. BD, 10. EF, 8. And AD, 16. So that was a complicated problem because there was a lot going on, but that's how that works. I'm going to show you one last one with some algebra, and then we will let you begin your homework. So we'll talk about cow, and this is, maybe we could have spelled clown, C-L-O-W-N. C-L-O-W-N, yeah. These are midpoints. It may not specifically tell you, but if they're marked that way, that's what that means. I'm going to tell you that NL is 2y minus 5. And I'm going to tell you that CW is 5y plus 3. And I'm going to ask you to find y. Okay, so I want you to think this sentence every time you're thinking mid-segments. The mid-segment is half of the third side. That's from that theorem. So according to this problem, NL is our mid-segment, and it's half of its third side, the side it's parallel to, CW. Now let's substitute for NL. It's half of, substitute for CW. Now this will go to you with algebra, what you like to do. I would like to clear this by multiplying by 2 on both sides. So I don't have a half anymore, but I do have to distribute over here by the 2. And then let's get the y on the same side. I'm going to continue up here. And then let's minus 3 on both sides. So I made this up just spur of the moment right now. So this problem actually doesn't make sense because we can't have a y that's negative. But the problems that you'll do in the book were not made up spur of the moment, and they would have a positive y value. So I would find y, and I would say y is negative 13. And then I could find the lengths of these sides if they asked me, like if they said how long is NL, then I could just plug my y value in right here and find the length of NL. Wrapping up, last thing I promise. All you're really doing, if you know the mid-segment, it's half of this side. And if you know this side, then the mid-segment's half of it. That's all that's going on. Hope you have a good day, and I hope you're good to your sub.